Hello and welcome to Norwal Farm. Michael Walsh here with Roger Norgal. We're getting ready for breeding season, and rams have been vaccinated in anticipation of that. We're going to be using Lamborghini here the first time, so going to shear him. It's been very hot and humid, so get that wool off of him, make it cooler for him. So we'll get that done today, and then we'll have to sort the ewes and get his breeding group separate so that we can start flushing them a little bit. And then I'm going to take stool samples on the lambs here, and we're going to start the wethers off and put them in with the wethers over there, and then sort the dolings off and put them in with the ewe lambs over here. But we're going to take stool samples just to see how they're doing. Still not gaining like I'd like, so just want to make sure we don't have a worm burden going on. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. The like button, that helps our channel, and ring the notification bell for any new videos that come out. And if you would please share this video with a friend and leave us a comment. Thanks for joining us today. All finished. He had about a 1/4 inch or probably about a 1/2 inch of wool all over, so got that off. That'll make him a lot cooler. I didn't worry so much about his belly. Not that much wool on there, and that'll protect him from flies, but this will really help him cool off. I'm going to try to do a few of the wether lambs today too, get their wool off. That'll help them gaining. Decided to shear the wether lambs. You can see after the wool's off, they're pretty thin, and they're not going to be ready in 3 weeks. So I'm going to try to see if I can move the market date back at least 4 weeks and maybe 6 weeks. I'm just taking it off their body, their legs and their heads fine, just to cool them off. And we're increasing the grain on them too, so got to get them in better shape. Well, I got 3 lambs done. I got this one, that one over there I just finished. There's one back there laying in the corner, so that's 3 of the wethers. My clippers are heating up on me. I don't like that. So anyway, we're going to quit for today and see if that doesn't help these guys out. We got the fecal results back on the lambs today, and they've got a very high level of intestinal parasites as well as high coccidia. So we're going to deworm them tonight. And the goats had minimal intestinal parasites, but they've got high coccidia too. So we're going to deworm the lambs tonight, and then in about 10 days, 2 weeks, we'll do coccidiostat on both the goats and the lambs. You can see on the chart there on the screen, left hand side is the worm load, and ideally you want it probably less than 500 eggs per gram, and you can see some of those lambs are 8,000 or 3,000, you know, pretty high. And then the coccidia should be low too. They should be probably less than 300, and there again you can see they're very high counts. So that's the issue with the lambs. So we're going to get them dewormed tonight, and then, like I said, 10 days, 2 weeks, we're going to do the coccidia medication. Yeah, he's probably FAMACHA 3. All finished tonight. Got them all dewormed. Like I say, in about 10 days, 2 weeks, we'll do the coccidia. The dogs are alerting. Earlier, about a half hour ago, we heard some coyotes and they alerted, so that's good. And that was Callum. He's 7 months old, but he's almost as big or bigger than Dylan. So anyway, got that done tonight. Tomorrow morning we have to sort ewes, and there's 4 more lambs to wean, and then we got to deworm them as well, the lambs. So that's it for tonight. Saturday morning we got all the ewes up here. We're not going to wean the lambs today. We are going to deworm them. because these lambs out here started on grain and these haven't had any. So we're going to hold off, and then once we get everything sorted, we're going to put the doelings separate from the lambs, and then put the lambs in with the wethers because they'll stay on grain. And the doelings will get less grain then. Then we'll wean these lambs and put them in with the doelings because we'll gradually start them on grass. So that's the plan. We're going to check udders on all the ewes, deworm the lambs, collect stool samples on all the white wool sheep, the Ile de France, because they're going to be breeding in about a month. And there's one dorper in here that's pretty thin. I'm just going to go ahead and deworm her. It's not going to hurt anything. And then the nannies, you can see some of them up there. That one. They've just got some residual milk in their udders, and we're just going to strip that down so it goes ahead and dries up. So that's our plan. Got them crowded in here into the pen, and then like I said, we're going to sort them and mark them. All done sorting and checking. This is the breeding group of ewes here, and we got stool samples on them, and we'll send that in, checking for worms and coccidia. Checked all the dorper ewes, and their udders are fine. Wormed the lambs. The goats, we checked udders, and there were 4 out of 9 with mastitis, so those will be sold. We're not going to retain them, so we'll have 5 breeding does next year. So we're going to let them back onto the pasture. We also found some fly bite sores on one of the sheep, and Dylan had a sore behind his ear, so we put some fly ointment on there. Unfortunately, the dogs don't like it and they rub their face, but you can see the black spot behind his ear. That's where the ointment is. So hopefully that helps. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on, girls. Let's go. Come on. We fenced them away from that plastic because, knowing goats, they would rub their horns on it or jump on it and put holes in it. So, not taking any chances. Shh, let's go. Shh. Psst, let's go. We'll fence this off either today or tomorrow and let them graze in here. Like I said, once we sort the doelings off, then we'll wean these 4 lambs and put them in with the doelings because they're not used to grain, and we're going to cut the grain back on the doelings. Just keep the wethers on grain. We're all back. Got them over here. Lambs are back in their paddock here in the grove. We'll probably split this and not give them the whole thing. There's only 10 sheep. And then we're going to start feeding them grain out here for next week. Starting the coccidia treatment today. Give them an injection of vitamin B complex. The medicine for coccidiosis inhibits thiamine absorption, and that's what kills the coccidia. They can't absorb thiamine. So just give them a boost here, because if they get thiamine deficiency, then they go into what they call polio. So they can die from that. So it's just a preventative. 1 injection should last them. They get 1 dose today, oral drench, and then they get another oral drench 4 more days after today. Lambs are much brighter and better appetite. We changed the ration. The previous ration we had had the corn, the oats, but it had a pellet in there with a mineral, and they just weren't eating the pellets. They'd eat everything, but they'd leave the pellets, and I was actually dumping quite a bit of that out. So I asked them to change the ration, and because they've got free choice mineral. But you can see there's some soybeans, roasted soybeans, oats, corn. There's some soybean oil and some molasses in there. So I think they'll eat this better, because I was just wasting too much of it before. Get used to it, but I think they're eating it pretty well. It'll take them a few days to get used to it. Fill the hay feeder up. Really eating the feed. You see this ewe here has a dark stool. And a couple others. This one had one too. That's most likely from the coccidia. We have that ewe there. She's got it too on her back end. Right there. Well, it's been 2 days since the last coccidia treatment, and lambs are looking much better. This one was really skinny before and getting some roundness to him now. Stools are clearing up. We got the 2 cull ewes, this one and that one over there and here. And this is the doe that we're going to cull. You can just see her udder is just, there's no attachment there, it's just all saggy. And I tried stripping that out and I couldn't get anything out of it, so she's going to go to market. So these are all the market animals here. Lamborghini's breeding group is over here. We feed them grain once a day in the morning. They're flushing ration, just about a quarter pound per head, not much. You just want them in a gaining state so that stimulates them to produce and drop more eggs, produce more lambs. And the kids that were over here, the doelings, and then we saved 6 ewe lambs for replacements. They're all down there with the does and the goats, and we're gonna, or does and the ewes, and we're gonna go check them here shortly. We're down here along the wetlands here. These are our 2 puppies. This is Charm and that's Champagne, and they're doing well. They're showing good instincts as well too. They're learning very well. So we have our 8 does down here that we're keeping. There are 9 doelings. And that one's Nevis. She was a bottle baby. And we named her Nevis, N-E-V-E-S, because her facial marking is a backwards 7. And Nevis is 7 spelled backwards. We added the green ear tags to all the replacement animals that we're keeping. That's our identification number. It's easier to read at a glance. Hi. And then there were 3 wethers that were bottle babies, and we're keeping those too, because we're going to have access to about 10-acre woods next year for grazing, so they'll help to clear that. There's the does here. They still got quite a bit of grazing out here yet. I think they've been on here about 4 days. And it'll probably last a week, I'm hoping. And then we just open the fence down there and just move them over to the next section. Sheep are down here. The goats and sheep usually hang separately. This one right here, number 31. She was one of the 3 that we took this morning. The other 2 are right over there. And we got a call a couple of days ago from an advertising agency in Chicago. It's been about maybe a week ago. And they were shooting a Kohler ad over at the Whistling Straits Golf Course over in Sheboygan. So they called to see if we had any Suffolk lambs or ewes, and these are half Suffolk, so we took those, and it actually went very well. They were on a halter and they did very well. So we're going to have a video about the advertisement shoot. We can't release it right away because we have to wait until they release the ad, which is supposed to come out about the first part of September. So we got a lot of good video, and it was really fun day. We had to be there at 4 in the morning before sunrise, and we're right on the lake, and the sun's coming up over the lake, and they have this beautiful white bathtub, and they had a fog machine, and our 3 lambs were out there grazing by the tub. So it turned out really well. And the agency was pleased enough. They said they might call us again if they have something in the area to come and help out with the future shoots. And they were the animal wrangler for Morris the cat back in the day. That's where the gentleman who owns the company got his start, and his son now is in the company as well. So they were up here and it worked out really well. We got there at 4 o'clock and we were done at 9:30. So and they paid us for our time and trouble, which was nice. So anyway, it was a fun day. Like I say, I can't put the video out yet, but this is something to look forward to, because we'll have a video out on that. So we've got 32 sheep here, plus 6 more is 38 sheep, and there's 20 goats. So about 58 animals down here. The white Dorper ewe lambs are being sold. They will go after Labor Day. They're the ones with the short tails. There's one over there scratching herself. And these were treated too for the worms, and they didn't have the coccidiosis so bad. So we've decided to leave the Dorper lambs on the ewes here and not take them up, not wean them. We'll just take them off here when they go to the new farm. And it's a nice ram lamb there. He'll just stay out here, and then we'll just sell him off the ewe out right off pasture. So we weighed them, all the sheep and goats, I think it was last Friday. And like this ewe lamb here, she weighed 80 pounds. I didn't think she was that big, but they're really solid, really dense. And that's about the weight that they sell Dorpers for, for market. That lamb there, he probably weighs close to 70 pounds, I would guess. The one behind him, she's probably 80, 90 pounds. So, that's just off grass and mother's milk. So very pleased with that. That ewe there is one of the Jacob lambs. We decided to keep her. The other two we're not keeping. They're really flighty and they're just not as big, and I don't think they make good replacement ewes. But she's a pretty nice lamb, so we're going to keep her and see how she does. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for joining us. They're making great progress finally on the house. We had a little glitch with the staining of the hardwood, but they've got that figured out. So thanks again for joining us at Norwal Farm.